Alright, hey guys. June 7th, late, 11 p.m. Thought I'd do a little update here as we seem to be making some significant moves. Yeah, this is Bitcoin on the hourly chart. And yeah, the kind of the what I was afraid of happened. Really wanted to see Bitcoin stay above this golden zone and, ideally along this channel wall, and it just broke it, smashed it. Um, yeah, about an 8% drop off that kind of that channel wall area, which makes the case a lot more likely if I go to a higher time frame on this. This structure now seems, yeah, obviously kind of more of an ABC, and I think we're doing an impulse down. Is this just maybe this is a 1 and ABC? No, that doesn't seem right to me. Now I'm more convinced that this again was just kind of an APC. And now targets are down here, right in this kind of this 27 to 24K range. That seems where it's going. Unless we get a really nice rejection, here, maybe, they just can't break through this support. And there's like something like this, that's kind of maybe, you could make an argument that that's what this looks like. So maybe we just are going to kind of double bottom down here, and this is the low. Let's see if I can find, more examples of that. Something like this where we can't get down there. But, if I compare this drop, funny, if I compare this to that, the March drop, this extreme event, and then, it was kind of, we had this one little drop. Even that was pretty deep. I think that was a 786. Yeah, it wasn't even that, extreme. Like now, comparatively, we're down here. And then this thing just kind of, it went up. So this March reaction, which is kind of what, I think we were all hoping for, on this, that's not what I'm seeing. And now after this pretty big drop, and again, if I go to even higher time frames, yeah, this looks like it wants to come down, maybe even get a volatility spike to the 3-day 200 moving average, which, you certainly don't want to see it go below. I mean, now, I again, it's way too early to say that, we're in a full-on bear market, to the likes of something like this, where, all we've done is, here we are in our journey right here, and, maybe now we have, almost a full year of just nonsense. I remember trading this, and this was awful. I mean, it's just relentless downward pressure, and it just keeps happening every day. It just seems to just keep going down, and this looks like potentially all we're doing is 1, 2, 3, maybe some kind of wonky 4, and then another 5. Maybe all we're doing is putting in an A wave here. Maybe we'll get a nice bounce for a B, and then, come down maybe for a C, or, double bottom. I mean, those are all realistic scenarios that I really don't want to see happen, but I could easily see it being a scenario. But for now, Bitcoin is still, in my opinion, on the grand scheme of things, bullish. We're coming down between the 50 and the 618 of the March low of 2020. That's kind of where you want to be interested in finding buy opportunities. I don't know if I'll try to catch the falling knife here again. But if we do get something down in here, I'll place some buy orders. Be looking to be a buyer down here. But yeah, right now, not interested. this doesn't look good. I'm gonna go out on 30-minute here and at least look at this. We've broken out any kind of pitchfork that I think looks reasonable on this. That was kind of nice to see. Yeah, the third test didn't go so well. Now I just think this is kind of just little bounces. We might roll over again, and from here, see at least a 17, a 25-foot drop, percent drop. That would be pretty brutal. Just comparatively, if you look across the board, what would a 25 percent drop look like? And you have to assume if Bitcoin's doing that, other coins are going to be doing a little bit bigger. Does that mean, is that looking out down here, that kind of drop? Are we going to double bottom on some of these coins? So that's where my mind goes right now. Just overall, what is the market doing? And when you kind of have to look to Bitcoin to get that overall, what does the market look like it wants to do? And right now, the market looks like it wants to go lower. First warning sign definitely was this break here, but staying above 786, that doesn't mean it's like. I do expect deep retracements, especially when you're trying to get a new trend going. I really think it was. I mean, obviously it just broke it here, but this was a nice hold. Let's see. Yeah, that was the golden zone. This break here of this golden zone was kind of the first warning. And that was a nice bounce off of it. So, until about this structure just didn't look good. This was the first warning sign that I should have maybe taken more heed to. But that's my overall thoughts for big picture. Where might we be going? Where's a potential kind of ballpark? So I do want to think kind of in this 17, 25. That kind of range is definitely in play now. So if I go across, the positions that I'm in, the positions that I've been entering, oops. Here's Dogecoin. I got a good entry down here, and I got in here, so I have 2 entries here on this coin. But if I pull this one, this fib pull, obviously we've broken this. So 1, 2, 3, deep 4. It's possible, but the probabilities now are a lot lower, and it more likely that maybe this is just an ABC, and now we're just going to put in another impulsive structure down lower, which would kind of make sense with what the market feels like it wants to do. So for me, that means entry here, tight stop, and that's exactly what I have on here. Is my stops right here, right down here. If this channel wall breaks. So yeah, losing some trades. But these are trades that I would take again. Hindsight's 2020. Hoping that Bitcoin would have stayed a little bit more bullish, but it looks like it wants to roll over. And so again, Dogecoin. Trying to play this channel wall, trying to play this fib of the overall structure, the golden zone. Getting some resistance, but let's see, a little bit divergence on a 30-minute. But I don't really like to use divergence too much on a small time frame. But if I just look at this chart, this is an okay trade. I would like to have seen it maybe hold a little bit more up here. But this is an okay entry. Tight stop. Filecoin finally did come down. I didn't end up being a buyer up here. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I wanted to retrace a little deeper. And especially after it kind of took off here, I was like, forget about it. But, okay. This is kind of ridiculous, but yeah, 21% drop, and 8 hours, this is rough stuff. Again, another rough drop. So, crypto is not looking too hot right now. I was a buyer here on along this, and obviously it just went right through. And then I had a buy order right down here. Didn't get it. I still wouldn't mind, playing this outer wall. Kind of again what we're seeing here, a three-wave structure. If this is indeed a 1, 2, 3, 4, these are deep fours. Crypto can do kind of anything, so I've seen it before, but this is starting to look more like an ABC. All we're doing is just kind of correcting, maybe this pivot down. But then you kind of have to look. It's like, okay, so where are we going? If this is just an ABC, and all we're doing is correcting that, it's like, or even just this pivot. Oops. Yeah, come right up to that golden zone tab. That's just can't get more perfect than that. That's algo target. Being a buyer back down in this range. I would not. I wouldn't be surprised. I would just be. This is just a brutal, elevator ride down. It's just not what you want to see. You want to see some of these a more bullish hold on this. If you are able to be a buyer down here, I mean, you do have just from a history standpoint, you do have a nice potential reward. But yeah, this has been a very brutal and quick. This in the last, let's just say it does kind of break down here and come down. It's like, potentially just 90 days of just pretty much straight dropping. We're down, 77% from the all-time high, which is, if you compare coins to, sorry, I kind of have to keep turning my volume up so my mic doesn't automatically turn off, and I guess I could change the setting, but for now. Kind of lost my train of thought, but yeah, this is just kind of relentless. It's relentless across the board too. So Ethereum is actually still pretty bullish. There's nothing bearish about this setup, which is encouraging because Ethereum is definitely taking over market share from Bitcoin, and even more so now. And so it's kind of like, is Ethereum going to be leading the market here, or is it just going to continue to be Bitcoin? And is that going to always be the case? For now, it does seem kind of like Bitcoin is leading the charge, but I still want to be using or thinking about using Ethereum as being a little bit more of a market barometer as well. And again, it's like off this pivot, golden zone. Off this pivot, golden zone, at least for now. Outside channel. And I'm a buyer here. So right now, this, unless we break this, then it's, a little bit more bearish. But then it's kind of like, okay, what's a 25% drop from here? Perfect double bottom. So that scenario that I've been calling out kind of the whole time, but obviously not hoping for or even trading for it, has a lot of potential now. So if Bitcoin wants to go down, 17 to 25%, I do think Ethereum will at least attempt to do that. Maybe a little less if if its dominance goes up, or maybe the same. So again, the point being is this double bottom scenario. I'm fine getting stopped out. I haven't actually set my stop for this one yet, but I'll probably do it just outside this channel wall and just below the golden zone. Maybe 23.99 or something. I always like doing it below that round number just in case. Be surprised at how many times a whole number holds and your stop doesn't go off by a cent. That 24.00 holds. Anyway, so that's kind of the play. I mean, it's either we go up from here, either the market is now going up, or in my opinion, if it goes any lower, really, like, if Ethereum goes lower, I'm kind of out, and I'm waiting for, again, I'm going to go over to Bitcoin, and I'm waiting for this drop, this 4, and if we break that, then it's, in my opinion, full-on bear market, and the strategy changes to more scalping plays, until, either the crypto market wants to, or maybe I move markets, to be honest, because I'm not going to put up with another crypto bear market. I mean, that's, it's just, ugh, it's pretty awful. And there's no telling if it's going to be the same. It's just, if you compare this structure to, something like this, are we just going to have a little repeat here, and all we're doing is, we're right here in the equivalent phase? It's like, we got another, 40% to go, and then it's just, for, a year, it's just going to hover at those prices. And, that is my biggest concern. It's not this potential drop here. I'm prepared for that drop. I have potential entries that I would have. That would be an excellent hold, and your risk to reward ratio is just so good. You put a stop somewhere under that. First target. It's getting up into the tens. That's just first target. So, I would definitely still want to be a buyer down here and be prepared for it. But yeah, also, again, you have to be prepared for what else could happen. And what else could happen is this just crashes. Another capitulation event, something similar to this, where, it's just this grind for, a month of just 51%, decline, after you've already had, this massive drop. That's kind of what crypto's done before. It could do it again. Yeah. So those are the two scenarios in my mind. Is the market is collectively going to drop somewhere between 17 to 25%, and that's the play, or it keeps crashing. So I'll be a very cautious buyer here. That would be, it's a little bit of a falling knife catch, but it's still hard to not be a buyer here. I don't even think this is the right pivot. This pivot looks like I want to pull it. Anyway, sorry, getting sidetracked. I don't know how good these late night videos are going to be. Yeah, so again, just Dogecoin, buyer here. Go on a smaller time frame. Yeah, it's still hard not to be I don't want to let FOMO, or the fear of this market, stop me from taking good trades either. I do feel like these are decent trades, but yeah, this is terrifying. The fact that it comes right up to this golden zone, the algo target down here. I mean, that's still very real possibility. So that's Ethereum, ADA. ADA holding well. I think let me check. Yeah, got another little fill here. I got my stop below here. So, buyer here. There's a buyer here. I just barely missed a fill. It was at 202. Again, I should be putting it a little bit higher. Ugh, it's frustrating to miss a fill like that. But again, we're probably not out of the woods yet. 1, 2, 3. Potential. This is still in play as a potential 4, deep 4. it's still kind of within the realm of reasonableness of time duration compared to the 2. You know, 2 is about 2 days. This is about maybe 3 or 4. Yeah, so I mean 4s can be a little bit more complex and drag out. It's still within the realm of, does this look right? 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, going up for a 5. Algo, you know, nice fill off a target here. I did actually get a little stopped out on this wick. You know, had to get a stop set in, and it just barely hit it, so half the position. And I also, no, I didn't get stopped out anywhere here. Again, this is just kind of this brutal drop. KNC, that went well. I was a buyer down here, took off. I got stopped out down here. This would have been a good buy spot, right on the median line or on the 50, but I have orders, you know, more along this channel line, so looking for a little bit of a drop there. But now I'm thinking I might remove those and just kind of think, like, again, you know, where's that range, that 25, you know, if Bitcoin crashes, you know, I could see this coming down here. You know, this is only a 13% drop. So if Bitcoin is going to my, you know, targetable spots, I got to get more room for it. You know, maybe 17 is the low end, and it holds somehow. So it's kind of a game time decision, but I might think about removing any buy orders that are, you know, with under that 17% threshold. So it's kind of even like this one. It's like, you know, this is only a 6% drop, but yeah, I think we're going to go lower than that just strictly because, you know, Bitcoin is going to be going lower. I do have a bit of a rule as well. It's like, trade the chart that's in front of you. I've missed out on a lot of opportunities because I thought, you know, oh, Bitcoin's going to drop. You know, I kind of done the same thing where if I would have just traded the chart in front of me, I would have been fine instead of thinking about what Bitcoin is actually going to do. So I still think I'll maybe take a trade here. Yeah, we seem to be getting a little rejection here. This doesn't look like the most healthy bounce ever. It's nice to see somewhat of a bounce. Yeah, the strength of it is concerning. I was a buyer here, got stopped out at half the position on this wick. And then I'm just going to click through some of my other positions here. I mean, you know, this is still fine. You know, stop below 786 here. Letting these structures kind of play out. And again, you know, Bitcoin looks somewhat similar to some of these coins. Some of these other coins have followed Bitcoin's movements a little bit more to the T. You know, again, this is, you know, maybe being a buyer down here, which is the algo target off this swing, you know, closer to the 886. So, yeah, that's kind of the, you know, I have a stop below here. That's kind of the play across the board. Sorry, I'm just going to, you know, you can see the coins that I'm going to be flipping through, but, you know, that's kind of I have a stop just below that one. XLM, I got to stop, you know, somewhere below here. You would love to see you know, a stop here and see some upward momentum. I mean, this is a good spot to be a buyer. It's just, you know, is it going to hold? I got GRT, I got to fill in there, and then I got stopped out here somewhere. And then I think I have another stop below this, but it didn't actually get hit. The second stop didn't get hit. I think I have it like 140, 649, yeah. Sorry. You know, is this ABC or is this an ABC? So this is where, you know, I'm trying not to get too caught up in the Elliott here. I mean, I try to just keep more objective facts. Like, you know, clearly this pitchfork is good. We're getting rejected off this median line. It was brutal, and then just this careen down. So, you know, either these spots that are right off the channel wall, right off the 786. Like, it's, if we went off to the races, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But now it's just kind of like, it's really up to Bitcoin. Yeah, this one sucked. I got a nice order there. I could have been a seller here, and I could have been a seller here. I wanted to see if, potential 5 wave. Maybe I was a little too bullish on the market in general. But, it was a buyer down here, and then I got stopped out one stop here, and then I got stopped out here. I think I have one more stop here. So, it's overall, it's not, I even think I'm just slightly in profit considering I bought here, and then I bought here. I got stopped out for the most part here and then here. So yeah, break even, very small profit. But you had a potential to make a huge gain here and you didn't take it. But you gotta kind of play the trend too. You're hoping for a trend. You're hoping for some more action. But in hindsight, I think I definitely wish I would have taken some profit here. And maybe that's a lesson learned too, to, always take some profit. Which I have before, and I just didn't here. Again, that's a pretty brutal. You're not really hoping for that. Yeah, it's 42% drop in 3 days. Crazy stuff. Litecoin, just a stop below here. These are kind of my more passive positions, where I had decent entries down here. Now it's just like, I'll put a stop below the structure. Decent entries down here, stop below the structure. But I wasn't, potentially really a buyer in on this. I didn't like, this structure as much. But yeah, now it kind of looks, across the board, it just kind of looks like this, And that makes way more sense that, we have lower to go. So, yeah, I'm just kind of thinking to myself, it's kind of like, as I talk through this analysis and as I think about what I want to do here and how I want to play the next, week or two in the market, I really do kind of think that we have lower to go, only because of Bitcoin. And that always makes me hesitant because I don't want to only trade based on Bitcoin, but it's really hard when you do see all the warning signals and the market kind of follows it. And this just looks like such a potential right now. Right off this pivot here, come right up to the 50, get rejected, algo target. Right with right in that kind of golden zone area. That just seems like where Bitcoin wants to go, and if Bitcoin wants to go there, again, I don't want to go on and on and on about the same fucking thing, but that's where it seems like it wants to go, 17-25% range. So I think that's kind of what I have to start. I'm really am thinking about exiting all my positions, or at least taking a substantial amount off, and kind of making this play. Just making the call that I think the market's going to go lower, and I should just cut the cord on a lot of these coins. And I honestly, I think that's what I'm going to do. At least partial exit on a lot of these coins, and I might just remove my orders and place them more in line with a potential 13%, something like that. I could easily see kind of a double bottom, triple bottom down here, and that's kind of within the range. Man, honestly, the main thing that's getting me right now is I just really don't want to enter a full-on bear market. And you know, it's like we kind of are. If you consider on the daily, we are trading below the 200 moving average, and we're I should say closing below the 200 moving average for a while now. Let's see, first, real close. 20 days. Sorry, getting tired. Not the best time to be making these decisions either. I really don't want to, but I kind of have a feeling that it's going to be a brutal night. And I don't want to be making it at 3 a.m. either. It's kind of the problem with it 24/7 is sometimes you got to make these decisions at weird times. Yeah, so really kind of going on lower time frames and seeing, can we get any volume? I mean, obviously there's good volume here, and if you even, it's the highest volume we've had since, this drop, which I guess isn't too surprising. I was actually maybe expecting it to be closer with that. We've broken the channel here that was an obvious channel. Didn't hold it there. We're out of this channel. And ideally this is the time to close out your positions, is when you are getting this little bounce. It's really a nightmare to try to close out positions in a downward movement. It's nicer to obviously close it when you're getting some upward buying. Yeah, 30 minutes here. Sorry, guys. I just had a lot to think about here and a lot to document. It's somewhat of a bigger decision. Definitely a decision point in the market and what will dictate the next few months. Because I do think if we go down here, it's going to be nasty. All right, I'm gonna cut it off here. I think I've gone over how I feel, what I think I'm gonna do. These bounces are nice. This is nice to see. I just don't think we're done here, and I really am pointing to Bitcoin here. So we'll see in the next few days. I'll do another video and see where we ended up. But yeah, I'm gonna cut it off here. All right, see you guys.